In the year 1492, the world was filled with mystery. Most people in Europe believed the ocean was endless, full of monsters, storms, and dangers no sailor could survive. But one man had a different idea: Christopher Columbus. Columbus was an Italian navigator with a bold dream. He believed that by sailing west across the Atlantic Ocean, he could find a faster route to Asia, where spices, gold, and silk were highly valued. For years, he tried to convince kings and queens to support his plan, but most people laughed at him. They said the journey was impossible. Finally, Columbus met Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain. They listened to his idea. Spain wanted to grow its power and wealth,
We must act
and
swiftly.
Columbus promised them
The
something
kingdom's
big,
fate
a
hangs in the
shortcut
balance.
to Asia and riches no one had ever seen. After long discussions, they agreed to fund the journey. Columbus prepared 3 ships, the Niña, the Pinta, and the Santa María. In August 1492, the small fleet left Spain. The sailors were frightened. They had no idea what lay beyond the horizon. The ocean was silent, endless, and terrifying. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The crew began to lose hope. Some even wanted to turn back. But Columbus refused. He wrote in his diary every night, still believing that land was near. Then, on October 12, 1492, everything changed. A sailor from the Pinta shouted, "Land!" After more than 2 months at sea, they had reached an island in the Caribbean. Columbus thought he had finally reached Asia. He called the people he met Indians, believing he was in the Indies. But in reality, Columbus had reached a place unknown to Europeans: the Americas, home to millions of indigenous people who had lived there for thousands of years. These were thriving societies with their own languages, traditions, and cultures. But Columbus did not understand this. He claimed the land for Spain, marking the beginning of one of the most important and controversial chapters in history. Columbus explored more islands, Cuba, Hispaniola, and others. He was amazed by the beauty of the land: crystal clear waters, green forests, colorful parrots, and gold ornaments worn by the local people. He believed he had found the edge of Asia and wrote glowing letters to the Spanish crown. When Columbus returned to Spain, he was welcomed as a hero. Crowds filled the streets to see him. He brought with him new plants, animals, and people from the lands he explored. News of his voyage spread across Europe quickly. It changed everything. His discovery connected 2 worlds for the first time: Europe and the Americas, leading to the age of exploration. New routes were opened. New plants, foods, and animals were exchanged. But it also led to tragic consequences: the colonization of indigenous lands, disease, slavery, and the loss of many lives. Columbus made 4 voyages in total, still believing he had reached Asia. He never realized he had landed on a continent unknown to Europeans. It wasn't until years later that explorers understood the truth. This was a new world. Today, Columbus remains a complex figure. Some remember him as a brave explorer who changed world history. Others focus on the suffering that followed his arrival. Both are part of the story. But one thing is certain: the moment Columbus reached the Americas in 1492, the world changed forever. It marked the beginning of a new global era, one of exploration, exchange, conflict, and transformation. And that is the real story of Christopher Columbus and the discovery of the Americas.